There are business leaders that are making so much more than profit in their enterprises. They're elevating their businesses, teams, and themselves to add more value. And so can you. Welcome to the Chris Cooper Business Elevation Show with host Chris Cooper. If you were looking for ways to elevate success while contributing to a better world, you'll want to listen in for the next hour. Now here's your host, Chris Cooper.
Welcome back to part 2 of the business of Rumi. In part 1, I shared with you some background to my own journey to Konya in Turkey as guest of Dr. Mansour Malik. A journey that would have been far more comfortable, I'm sure, than Rumi's journey as a child refugee when he travelled over 1,000 miles to Konya back in the 13th century. He would, I'm sure, have had great empathy for today's refugees. Today he's becoming even more celebrated with technology and the internet. In 2014, the best-selling poet in the US, and various Rumi posts on Facebook each have several 100,000 followers. This week there's been rumours of a Hollywood movie about Rumi's life having emerged with potentially Leonardo DiCaprio rumoured to be the lead. I hope if this happens, it brings us closer to understanding in the West the positives of what Islam is really about. Of course, I'm keen to explore how Rumi's work can help us elevate our behaviours as leaders, employees, business owners, and of course human beings. In the last show, I interviewed Dr. Essine Celebi Beyru, a 22nd generation relative of Rumi, and the Vice President of the International Mevlana Foundation. And also, Rumi, he wrote his poetry and his work often by whirling round and round for inspiration. And I had the privilege to interview Fahri Özkakil, the head of the Whirling Dervishes. Today, I'm going to introduce you to Murat Peksanlu, the General Manager of the Novotel and Ibis in Konya, who talks about the principles of Rumi in terms of how he utilises them to deliver exceptional customer service in his hotels. Also my friend, Dr. Mansour, international lawyer and chairman of the Diplomatic Business Club, will share his perspectives on why Rumi is so important to business people today. And finally, in the third section, I'll share some of my favourite Rumi quotes and what I think they mean from a business perspective. Many are deep and inspiring and leave you slightly in awe of the abilities of this man to write beautiful and meaningful poems and prose that still mean so much many centuries later. Only from the heart can you touch the sky. We are currently in the Novotel Hotel in Konya in Turkey, and I'm delighted to be with the General Manager of the Novotel and also the Ibis Hotel here. His name is Murat Peksanlu, and we're going to have a conversation today about his background, but also about Rumi and how he utilises the teachings of Rumi and their philosophies to really generate exceptional customer service here in their hotels.
Hi Chris, it's great to be with you.
Tell us a little bit about your background and how you ended up doing what you do.
This is Murat Peksanlu. I am 38 years old. I have born in a seaside city in Mersin. It's a lovely city. I am also graduated from Tourism Administration and Hoteling University from the same city. It is a small city coast of Mediterranean. And I have been working in this sector in hotel business nearly 20 years. I started that job at the Seaside Hotel. I worked in different positions in different hotels in like food and beverage and sales and front office. And at the last 5 years, I have been working as a general manager in different international hotel chains like IHG Group, Hilton Group, and lastly at Accor Group. I have been acting this position 3 months in Konya, and I'm proud of it.
Excellent. And Accor Group, they have a number of brands in the portfolio.
Yeah,
and,
for sure.
What there's Novotel and there's also Ibis, but what else sits in there?
Accor is our main brand, and under that main brand we have many brands, different brands, but the most known ones are Novotel, Ibis Hotel. There are 3,000 in all Europe, in everywhere. And the other luxury brands are like Sofitel, Fairmont, Raffles, and Swiss Hotels, and lastly Rixos Hotels are under that Accor Group.
Wow, so some group, and we're obviously talking today because you were the hotel that we chose to stay at on our visit to Konya. So clearly the Novotel and also the Ibis are great places to stay if you're interested in this. Coming to check out Rumi and all of the history and the lessons that sit around him. So you tell us a little bit then about your sort of discovery of Rumi, and what does he mean to you?
Rumi philosophy is the way to walk in life. So personally, I and in our business structure, we try to implement his principles. He has very common and universal principles. I try to read all 7 principles for you, if you have time.
Yeah,
for me.
great. Yeah.
Okay. This is so universal things. The first one starts in generosity and helping others. Be like a river. In compassion and grace, be like the sun. In concealing others' faults, be like the night. In anger and fury, be like the dead. In modesty and humility, be like the earth. In tolerance, be like the sea. Either appear as you are, to be as you look. This is our life philosophy in Konya. Yeah. We believe it, and we try to implement these principles to our life.
Yeah. So you're obviously part of a large chain. However, is this part of your unique culture, or do you think other hotels in the same chain adopt some of these similar principles?
We added these values to our service culture, because every single product, every hotel are very good in these days. Good size of rooms, comfortable beds, fast internet, and etc. These are not crazy different. The difference is your service. Service means smile. Service means problem handling focus. Service means from your heart what you do.
Yeah.
And people feels this emotional touch is very important. Whatever we buy every day, we decide this purchase with our feelings, not with our mind. We train our staff firstly to be a good person. For to be a good person, that's Rumi's principles are very important, because it is not belongs to you, it's not belongs to me, it's not belongs to other ones. It belongs to for all over the world, for everybody. So we try to implement his principles to our service culture. We improve their self. We train our staff every day. We try to be a good person. We try to be love the people. So this is our main point. When people feel that, they come again to see you. We look our customers as another customer, as a guest. This is the difference that we try to be focused on in the hotel.
Yeah, and that certainly comes through. I had some wonderful help this morning with checking in for my flight. I got a bit confused trying to use the system in Turkish, and one of your team really helped me greatly to sort that out, which is appreciated. I loved the 7 points, by the way. I thought they were wonderful, so I'm going to take a copy home if that's okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay with you, because they're very, very powerful. And I think one of the messages I think that's come across from me to this visit to Turkey and exploring Rumi is just a reminder at this point to kind of lead with the heart. And I think it's a very important principle. Rather than making judgments in the head, just work with the heart first. And we've sat today with the gentleman who actually is the kind of the master of the whirling dervishes.
Yeah.
And actually, we myself and Dr. Mansour Malik, who I was with, we don't actually speak his language, but it was kind of okay because he said we'll just communicate with the heart, and we just sat together.
Definitely.
And that was actually hugely bonding, just sitting together. So
purchases not with your mind. 99% of the people make their decisions by their feelings. If they feel that comes from your heart, they got it.
Yeah.
So if you do whatever you do from your heart, then people gets it. People likes to be pure. So we try to be pure. We try to be innocent. We try to be show what we are real. We don't use mask. We talk not from our mouth. We try to talk from our heart. This is the main point, I think.
Yeah. I think it's a wonderful key to customer service,
exactly.
And I think it's to truly unlock that. And how do you teach people to do that?
We are acting with our staff. Every single week we do some training courses in the hotel. We gathered in different departments in the hotels, and we are doing acting and role plays in the classrooms.
Right.
In every single cases. If something happens in the hotel, we try to show them how they should behave, but from your heart.
Yeah.
Don't use your mask. React. Just be yourself. Do a mistake, but it should be real. People let you to make mistake, but they want to show you how you reacted. The problem is not to make a mistake. The problem is not to react at them. People likes reaction against your mistake. This is the main point. We try to give that exercises with the role play, with the games to our all staff in different departments, in different cases, to give them. And we have rewarded systems for good behave. We give them a green card. If you collect the most number of green card in the month, you are the green person in the hotel. So we awarded them every month. So we have a kind of small competition to create that culture in the hotel as well.
Yeah. So we were talking about the customer experience there. One of the things that I very much believe in is that actually if you make your organisation more focused on looking after your people and your team, then if you give that attention to them, and I get to do that with the heart and not just the head, then they will then go and serve the customer well.
Yeah.
Do you believe that too? Do you really look after your people?
Yeah, for sure. You can compare from the people around you. When they tell a story about a hotel, they don't promote the hotel's bed. They don't promote the hotel breakfast, not the food. People always share their rememberings about the hotel in their mind. Is a kind of a connection, an emotional connection with a person.
Yes.
Maybe they are sick, and one of our staff prepare a special mixture, tea or kind of something else for you, and it offers you as a from the house. It makes a difference in your heart, and you keep it in your mind. And just look around you. People always share these rememberings with the people, not the beds, not the internet, not the food, and the only one thing is the experiences, emotional experiences in the hotels.
Yes.
So we try to create small but remembering experience.
Yeah. Just these special moments that you create.
Yeah, special moments.
Yeah.
We try to create happy moments, special moments. We try to touch people's heart.
Yeah, and it's those moments you say that people remember, isn't it? So if you can create them, or you can fool people by doing something a little different, are extraordinary, but also, as you say, if something goes wrong, just being able to fix that, quickly in a very professional manner. Yeah, that's great. I think that's really, really important. I mean, do you do anything? You do some training with a weekly basis to get people into the right mindset, because we all kind of need, we don't need telling, but we all need reminding, don't we?
Yeah, we have a team in the hotel. We call it Power Team.
Right.
That Power Team, we have special T-shirts and we are wearing it every week, and they have a special mark on their uniforms in the hotel. This Power Team collected ideas from the staff in the hotel. How we can touch people's heart in the hotel. So they gathered all the ideas in this Power Team group. Every week we have a meeting with them, and we put every ideas on a table, and we try to improve the service with that ideas, and we select the good one every week, and we also promote it in the hotel.
Right.
And we call it this week's promotion idea.
Excellent.
We have systems like that, many, but we don't have enough time for that,
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
No, it's been absolutely fantastic talking with you, and I just wondered, just to finish very quickly, if you could just read those 7 points again, because they were quite beautiful.
For sure,
Yeah.
if you like it again.
Yeah.
Okay. Mevlana Rumi says, "In generosity and helping others, be like a river. In compassion and grace, be like the sun. In concealing others' fault, be like the night. In anger and fury, be like the dead. In modesty and humility, be like earth. In tolerance, be like the sea. Either appear as you are, or be as you look."
Fantastic. Well, Murat, it's been wonderful talking to you. You've been
thanks a lot.
a great guest. It's such a privilege to be here and to hear your take on how you utilise Rumi and the thinking and the philosophy to create a great service at the Novotel and the Ibis in Konya. So if people want to book to stay here, where do they go to the Novotel site, or what's the best way to book?
www.accor.com.
Accor.com.
Accor.com.
ACOR.
You can find Novotel and Ibis Hotel Konya from www.accor.com.
Great. Well, thank you very much.
We are waiting for you. Bye-bye.
Great service will follow.
Okay, thanks.
Become our friend on Facebook. Post your thoughts about our shows and network on our timeline. Visit facebook.com/Voice America.
I want to mention my friends at FreshBooks. FreshBooks are a sponsor of the show, which is greatly appreciated because the costs of running this show have been beyond my clue of the 8.5 years that I've done this. But I've contributed at my own cost because I wanted to add value to people beyond my clients and help people to develop and grow, and it all fits within the purpose of my life. But with FreshBooks' help, it makes a small contribution towards the cost of running this show, and because they have a great product, then it's not a discomfort to share that information with you. So I wonder, do you remember when you started your small business? Because we're talking about something here that's helpful for small businesses, and it's, I'm sure, no small feat. It took a lot of late nights and early mornings, takes the occasional all-nighter, and bottom line, you've probably been insanely busy if you've done this ever since. So why not make life a little bit easier? And our friends at FreshBooks have the solution. FreshBooks invoicing and accounting software is designed for small business owners. It's simple, it's intuitive, keeps you way more organised than having that dusty shoebox filled with lots of crumpled receipts. You can send professional looking invoices in 30 seconds, get them paid twice as fast with automatic online payments, automated online payments, file expenses even quicker, keep them perfectly organised for your tax time. And the best part of it is that FreshBooks grows alongside your business, and you'll always have the tools you need when you need them without ever having to learn the ins and outs of accounting. So join 24 million people who've used FreshBooks. Try it free for 30 days, no catch, no credit card required. So go to freshbooks.com/elevation and enter the Business Elevation Show in the How Did You Hear About Us section, Elevated. And if this is of interest to you, please do add and enter the Business Elevation Show, and then they'll be aware that you've found out about it from here, and it just triggers that this is a good show to help to support. So thank you very much. Here's something you might be interested in: Orgain's grants for greater good. Orgain is giving away $150,000 in grant money. If you're a startup business working in nutrition, mind-body wellness, or promoting healthy lifestyles, listen up. If you're like me, you'll know that it can be very challenging to start your own business. And having the right support and more money to work with can only help. And that's where Orgain comes in. Orgain's a brand that makes convenient and clean nutrition products, founded by Dr. Andrew Abraham, who has a very inspiring story. He developed an original nutritional shake during his fight to beat cancer in his teens to help nourish himself. He realised he wanted to share his recipe with the world, quit his job as a doctor, and founded Orgain. Andrew knows from first-hand experience that people are changing the world one idea at a time. But often these ideas just don't have the financial support to get off the ground, and he wants to pay it forward. Orgain will choose 3 deserving startups and grant them $50,000 each to help elevate their business to the next level. To apply for the programme, your startup needs to be 2 years or older and in the business of promoting healthy, vibrant lives through nutrition, active lifestyles or mindfulness. The application period ends March the 20th, so if you think you're a good fit, please visit orgain.com/grants today to learn more.
On Facebook? Friended us on Facebook yet? Why not? Just go to facebook.com/Voice America or search for the keywords Voice America. Once you are part of our Facebook network, you'll receive daily messages about what's happening with our shows, this week's featured guests, and new happenings at the Voice America Talk Radio Network. And you can add your voice to the always active discussions on our timeline. Just go to facebook.com/Voice America or search for Voice America.
You are tuned into the Business Elevation Show with your host, Chris Cooper. If you have a question or comment about our show, please direct your emails to chris@chriscooper.co.uk. That's chris@chriscooper.co.uk. Now back to Chris Cooper.
Hi, it's Chris Cooper back with you again, and I'm delighted to be sitting here with Dr. Mansour Malik. And Dr. Mansour Malik has been a tremendous friend over the last couple of days. We've had an amazing opportunity to spend some time in Konya in Turkey, where Mansour invited me to come along and experience Rumi and the spiritual world, and get a bit more in touch with that, and then think about how the business world and the spiritual world collide. Now, Mansour has an incredible background of having been a very successful lawyer. He's based now between Dubai and London, and done some huge consulting projects with companies around the world. He's also now become very well known for founding the Diplomat magazine and the Diplomatic Business Club, which lies with also in Dubai. And this has turned into some kind of a phenomenon, really, with something like about 3,000 members having attended events, and these people are senior diplomats, they are senior business people and kind of members of royal households. And what I've really realised with Mansour, and having had the opportunity to spend time with him over the last couple of days, is he's an absolute master when it comes to networking. I've met few people in this world and through my interviews who can really connect with people with his heart and introduce you on a daily basis to some of the most amazing people that he's connected with. So I'm going to say a big welcome to Mansour. He's been on the show before, and that's why on Leading with Love, and that's why we're here again today. But I just wonder, Mansour, if you could tell us a little bit about the club in particular and how that came about and its purpose.
Thank you very much, Chris. This is a pleasure talking to you in Konya at the center of Rumi, the master of love and spirituality, an exceptional man, unique personality in the spiritual world. I believe that Rumi learned through divine guidance. Like a person was sent to him, unknown person, nobody knew who is he, Shams Tabriz, who guided him for 40 days. They went together, and thereafter, now some people have written books about it, their 40 meetings at the 40 rules of love. Rumi was a scholar. His family side belonged to the royal household, very wealthy man, with every respect, knowledge, money, everything. But when it comes to the spirituality, when he fully awakened on the spiritual side, then he created a balance between material life and spiritual life. And our being a human being, have two parts. One is our spirit, the soul. The other is our body. Body belongs to material side. So when we create this balance between the living in this world, that we live and follow the certain principle and divine guidance sent to mankind from time to time, and then we work for the betterment in an honest, sincere way, for the betterment of the humanity. I think this makes it a model and people feel comfortable. What I feel that we have certain, the good qualities which are honesty, truthfulness, sincerity, and well-being of others and helping others. And the other side is greed and cruelty and other type of vices. One person overcome this side of it, and in the business world or our daily lives, if we are away from the greed, I think the lots of problems are solved when we try to treat ourselves the way we want to treat other people. So that way it makes a lot of difference. Now I'm coming to the Chris point about the Diplomat Business Club. We created this club because we published our issue on the Queen's, the Silver Jubilee, and we put her picture on the front page of it, and it went to the Buckingham Palace. I had no access. I think the British Embassy or Consulate from Dubai, they sent the copy, and I received a letter of appreciation from Queen and also a letter of appreciation, a separate like a certificate. And in London, then I thought why I should not do it as a Diplomat Business Club in London, connecting diplomats with the business people and with the government officials. It worked very well, and many people appreciate it because lots of diplomats, they are looking for such opportunities, but they do not have access to the business people or the common public. So the result was that they appreciated both sides, and this is like a connecting people. And when the business people gather under this the event, they interact with each other and they find it useful. And we didn't make it like it's business type of thing, and this makes it more attractive to people that look our money, rather they are sincerely putting us in touch, and then we have opportunity to meet other the counterparts and do business, and many deals get done through these events. The business people to do it, and it's been appreciated. It has been a success in Dubai, and it is success in London. We don't do on very regular basis, like monthly basis events. Maybe 2 events in a year in London, and about 2-3 events in Dubai and Bahrain, right, in a year. So that is enough space to give people time to connect each other and to develop their businesses.
Excellent. One of the things that I liked about the club is the way that you know, part of your vision was to bring people together who maybe of different faiths, you know, different nationalities, different disciplines, to all kind of work together on some of the world's common problems, because we have so much division in the world today between nations, between leaders, and you know, division actually in terms of, from my personal perspective, in the way I see those leaders behave. I would like them to behave differently, so actually my children can be proud to follow them, and I'd be proud to let them follow their and adopt their behaviours. But there's a bit more to it than just networking, I think.
I think I've been extremely lucky to know Rumi for quite a number of years, and when I study him in great depth, I understood the reality of our life in this planet, and thereafter what I did, I understood the method develop. We can do business with the mutual love, mutual respect, mutual trust, with sincerity and honesty, and this would be long-lasting type of thing. My personal experience is that whosoever I dealt with, I think the 100% people are satisfied. Nobody has complained, because the element of greed was not there, and the element of dishonesty was not there, disrespect was not there. Whether a person is a cleaner or he is a very high position, we treated them the same, because being human being, they are all equal, and according to their whatever the needs or the way we have to help them, we try to do this. And the business people benefit from this type of approach, this spirituality. They can do business with mutual respect, with honesty, and through the method of love. And when they do this, I think the other party also, and they become like your long-term customers, and they, both sides, like to do business on long-term basis.
I think, you know, I think I mentioned this in one of the previous interviews, but I think it's been one of the takeouts for me of the last couple of days has been actually this, you know, being with people with your heart, and it's interesting that you can develop bonds and connections with people if you do that, even if they don't speak the same language.
Language of love. So when we talk with the love with people, they do understand. I have experienced is here the Turks, many Turks he met, that they don't speak a word of English, but we understood them, and many other nationalities I come across, and somehow we do convey our message to them, and they feel very happy, and they go very happy, and they remain in contact.
Yeah. Yes, it was interesting. Someone said to me, now the author that you introduced me to, written 7 books on Rumi, and he spoke no English and I spoke no Turkish, but we spoke through an interpreter, and you know his comment at the end of it was, you know, even though we speak a different language, I feel we've really connected with the heart, and I thought that was very nice actually. I mean, I felt warm towards him, even though we were not able to speak direct.
Maybe this is very interesting thing which I developed and understood, that there are 2 parts. One is technology, and now we go to artificial intelligence and blockchain, all that. This is human made, and the spirituality is divine made. And when we understand this spirituality, our understanding about the blockchain, artificial intelligence, etc., digital technology becomes very easy. And once we are, because our spiritual element is there, and we are connected through our spirits, right? Like we get connected via Wi-Fi, and the God system of spirituality, that without wires we get connected through our spirit side. And even we never seen each other, and we become very quick friends, and we do things commonly. So I think that we
is
our spiritual side, and along with that, if the Chris uses the word head and heart, if we create a balance between them, a link between them, it will do wonders.
I think something that's also been eye-opening for me as well is I feel I'm a Christian background. I've not really had much exposure to Islam, and I think what I've seen by observing people in Turkey and yourself, who pray several times a day, and we hear 6:30 in the morning. There's the prayers that are ringing out very loud across the city. I think I feel like I understand that better, and whereas I may have slightly feared it because of all the propaganda that's happened, or because of the behaviour of a small minority, what I see is very peaceful people, very calm. People here don't rush and run. They all steadily walk the streets. But there feels like there's a serenity, which I don't really see so much of in Europe, in sort of Muslim areas. I mean, what's your thoughts on?
You see, we have to understand that the current this century, and we call it under the certain predictions about the before end of time, that there would be tribulations, and no religion would be pure. They would be corrupted, they would be changed, misinterpreted, and what this is, as being a Muslim, I very much. But Quran, it very clearly says, never judge people, leave them, and do not interfere with them. Never speak bad about them, and try to help them, and never try to convert people. This is none of your business. You can just discuss the information. It is their choice, what way they practice, what way they worship God. They are worshipping God different ways according to Rumi. Yes. Whatever way, it leads to God. So if we develop that type of mutual tolerance, and we don't use religion for political purposes, it will totally change us. When we stress the spiritual aspect of religion, any faith, that combines us. This is where the Rumi message, combines and unites people. Chris has seen, myself seen, people right from the Asia to the Far East to Europe. They gathered here together. Many are Muslim, many are not Muslim. They are different faiths they are coming. That in the Islamic faith, there are two major sects, Shia and Sunni. They fight each other. But here at Rumi place, they are together. And Rumi teachings, they are just following it like this. This is love. So I think that if we use the love in our life, with our children, with our parents, with our neighbors, with our friends, with our business partners, the whole world will change. In the schools, we need to spread love. And we need to teach students, these youngsters, the love. Love your parents, love your friends, love your sister, brothers, and it will change. And love your business partners. And we should be considering the business interest of our partner like ourselves. These type of partnership will be very long lasting and very peaceful, and you will relax, and you will have no mental type of stress. Oh, I do, so my partner doing this, because of this greed and like that. So I think that love is the solution for our all problems.
Yeah, it's an opportunity and a very important, authentic strategy to avoid conflict.
Yes.
And create a much more harmonious way of working.
Yes. It is very that we observe it. Even we show little love to the animals, dogs, cats, other animals, they become very friendly.
Yeah.
So if we do the same thing with the human beings, and we ignore their mistakes, and we just leave them, okay, they have done this thing wrong, and maybe they will be better. We treat them differently, I think they will change.
Yeah, great. Well, it's been a pleasure talking with you. It's been a wonderful honour to spend time with you in Turkey. So thank you so much for your generosity and time. And I do hope people enjoy this interview and are able to maybe connect with us and let us know what you think. If people want to connect, diplomaticbusinessclub.com, would that be the right site?
Yes.
And then through that, people can find your details as well.
Yes, of course.
And as I've noticed with Mansour over the last 2 or 3 days, he loves connecting with everybody.
Yes.
And he does it so well. So once again, thank you very much, and we'll see you again after the break.
Thank you very much for having me on this program, and hope lots of our friends who are listening to this program, they will join us one day at Rumi Place to understand the spirituality and make our lives better.
Well, that could be an amazing opportunity, isn't it? It's something we've been talking about as well. There is tremendous opportunity for people, I think, of all walks of life, but people who are in business and high-powered roles, or senior diplomats who maybe just need that time away, a bit of a break to reflect on life and think about spiritual aspects, but also put that in balance with business and family. And we're working through at the moment about how that might be able to happen. So we'll watch this space and keep in touch.
Thank you very much.
Have you friended us on Facebook yet? Why not? Just go to facebook.com/Voice America or search for the keywords Voice America. Once you are part of our Facebook network, you'll receive daily messages about what's happening with our shows, this week's featured guests, and new happenings at the Voice America Talk Radio Network. And you can add your voice to the always active discussions on our timeline. Just go to facebook.com/Voice America or search for Voice America.
You are tuned into the Business Elevation Show with your host, Chris Cooper. If you have a question or comment about our show, please direct your emails to chris@chriscooper.co.uk. That's chris@chris.co.uk. Now back to Chris Cooper.
What a privilege to have had the opportunity to meet such wonderful people on this journey to Konya in Turkey. From Madame Esin Celebi Beyru, who I found to have incredible humility, and Faril Özkakil, whose story was inspiring, and watching him in control of the whirling dervishes at the 746th celebration of Rumi's life was quite incredible. If you ever get the chance to go, then to see those whirling dervishes in action is quite incredible. Each one moving beautifully with great stability and great skill in a whirling fashion, but together as a whole they create quite an amazing spectacle. Not that they're there for entertainment, they're there because they are getting closer in their own way to Allah. But what it really showed to me was the importance of each person becoming the best they can be in an organisation, and as a collective being the best you can be together as one. And then Murat, I thought the poem that he shared was very, very beautiful. I think the words in those 7 steps of that poem are words that I have kept close to me ever since I came back from Turkey. In generosity and in supporting others, be like a river. And then I viewed and heard from Dr. Mansour Malik. I think Mansour is a leader in this thinking around Rumi. He takes this very deeply to heart, and I've seen a man who has real sunshine within him, which is very attractive to other people. He has a network that most people can only imagine, but that's because he's given all the time, and given and given, and been generous and flowing like a river. And now, having touched many hearts, he has an amazing, amazing network. So let's talk about some of the favourite Rumi quotes. Let's hear some of those quotes and some of those poems and get a sense of maybe what they might mean to us. The first area I think Rumi talks a lot about is love. He says that love is the bridge between you and everything. So let's talk about business and love. When it comes down to it, one thing we have in common, or not, is that we all want to be loved. I recently watched Elton John's Rocket Man, and you can see how a lack of love in childhood impacted his behaviour and resulted partly in how incredible his musical writing was. However, in most people, even if they think love is not important, it's hidden. It is sitting deep within all of us. We are all deeply impacted by our childhoods. And through life, a key motivation is often this search for love and wanting to be appreciated. The way to make a bridge between yourself and others in the workplace is not through fear, but it's through kindness and caring. And that word, which may seem very soft, that we might feel fearful of, but love. A prime motivation is this need, a need for warm feedback, to feel appreciated, to feel cared for. Rumi said, in the law of love, give all, sacrifice all. Gain is irrelevant. So what is there to fear? Why should we fear being heartfelt and being humble? Being loved is not something to fear. Being loving, sorry. Simply caring for an employee, for example. I mean, last year I remember one of my connections explaining to me he'd been in hospital for some quite significant surgery, and his boss never even inquired how he was. He's now working somewhere else. Last week even, I heard from somebody who was telling me that his company boss, when he just joined the company, wanted to drive him to the hospital when his child had suddenly got ill. He said it was just an amazing to feel kind of cared for in that way and nurtured and supported. I had a friend who became very ill suddenly, and he sent me a text from hospital a couple of weeks ago telling me how his consultant was not a very nice person. When you are vulnerable, a few kind words can make all the difference. They are far more than ego. As Rumi said, we can physically that love can cure. It does not matter what we physically accrue in this world, whether people will actually attend our funeral at the end of the day. It depends upon how we made them feel. Rumi said, how you make others feel about themselves says a lot about you. At the end of the day, business needs to have some gain. But this must not be at the expense of others. So why should there be fear in building highly engaging workforces where your people, customers and communities feel loved and cared for by you? If you do, you achieve more. It's a no-brainer. A heart filled with love is like a phoenix that no cage can imprison, Rumi said. Don't plant anything but love. When you plant a tree, every leaf that grows will tell you what you sow will bear fruit. So if you have any sense, my friend, don't plant anything but love. You show your worth by what you seek. Water flows to those who want purity. Wash your hands of all desires and come to the table of love. And for those of you who are looking for love, there was a little message in this. Do you want me to tell you a secret? The flowers attract the most beautiful lover with their sweet smile and scent. Rumi also said, be love, be light. Don't be without love, so you won't feel dead. Die in love and stay alive forever. I personally so believe, and you hear through these shows, the importance of engaging leadership. Rumi wrote that the one who became a servant of lovers is really a fortunate sovereign. Why a servant of lovers? Because people love you because you give them love. Your task is not to seek love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. So often we may have friends who are seeking relationships and are out there all the time looking for love, but actually they have so many barriers which is holding them back from being able to give it. So Rumi talks a lot about love, and he talks a lot about using your heart in your life and in your work. Rumi wrote, "Heart, be brave. If you cannot be brave, just go." I think Rumi is saying here that you should be prepared to speak up and be honest with what you believe. Do what is right in your work and speak up if you have something to share. Something is wrong or it can be done in a better way. I think a message here is just to do it anyway. A bit like that Nike slogan, just do it and learn from what happens. There is a candle in your heart ready to be kindled. There is a void in your soul ready to be filled. You feel it, don't you? Listen to your heart. Something missing in your life. Listen to your heart, I think Rumi is saying. The answer may well be there. Rumi talks a lot about kind of exploring boundaries and being prepared to step into the unknown. And when things go wrong, being prepared to step into the shadow side of your life and learn the lessons. And learn from them, it will make you stronger in the end. He wrote quotes like, "Dive today from the cliff of what you know into what you can't know." How does a part of the world leave the world? How does wetness leave water? No matter how fast you run, your shadow keeps up. Sometimes it's in front. Only full overhead sun diminishes your shadow. But that shadow has been serving you. What hurts you blesses you. Darkness is your candle. Your boundaries are your quest. He also wrote about diversity. Even back then in the 13th century, he described woman is the light of God. Souls don't have races or sexes or religions. They are beyond artificial divisions. We should remove divisions and appreciate that anyone can add value. The greatest ideas do not always come from your highest paid executives. With diversity bring greater perspective. He also talked about in life being joyful. Dance from here to the other world and don't stop. How invigorating is that? He talked about not letting weaknesses hold you back. God has planted in your heart the desire to search Him. Don't look at your weaknesses, but focus on the search. I think he's saying focus on what you can do. Don't get over-focused on your weaknesses. Your weakness to one person could actually be a strength to another. Sometimes people often give us the wrong advice. Sometimes people hold us back in terms of that ability to reach our potential. Sometimes they want to keep you down, actually. So perhaps you don't outshine them. On persistence and encouragement, he said, keep digging your well. Water is there somewhere. You were born with wings. Why prefer to crawl through life? Today we sometimes talk about the law of reciprocity, about being prepared to give. Do good for others. It will come back in unexpected ways. Isn't that true? Me in reaching out and interviewing Mansour last year resulted in him by inviting me to visit Konya in Turkey, and this journey would not have happened without that reciprocity. Don't worry, just go and be good. Do good things and you'll be taken care of. Rumi said, don't look to anyone for your needs, for the one who created you waters you. He referred in his writing to teaching and the importance of learning. A candle loses nothing by lighting another. How beautiful is that? If each day we're lighting other people's candles with our wisdom and with our knowledge. Become nothing and he'll turn you into everything. Life should not be around searching for celebrity, about trying to be, the coming out with ego and trying to go above and beyond others. If you do good and keep on helping and supporting, maybe your opportunity will come and you've done it for the right reasons. Every moment I shape my destiny with a chisel. I saw the carpenter of my own soul. Be the carpenter of your own soul. Keep on shaping yourself. Keep on learning. Through learning, that is how you become better and you shape yourself. On accessing your potential, there is a fountain inside you. Don't walk around with an empty bucket. Remember, the entrance to the sanctuary is inside you. What I like is that everyone has been made for some particular work, and the desire for that work has been put in every heart. Maybe if you don't know what it is you want to do with your life, then you maybe need to look into your heart, or have somebody help you to do that. Your body is away from me. This is a quote that I really like. Your body is away from me, but there's a window open from my heart to yours. I think that quote is very helpful if you've lost somebody in your life. It helped me with my father. Your body is away from me, but there is a window open from my heart to yours. Even though my father is not here, in some ways I feel we still can connect. And through your life you may bring joy to others, but you can illuminate others. I love this idea that there is a sun inside of us, a sun. There is a sun within every person, Rumi said. Whether we bring that sun out and illuminate others, or whether we don't do that, and we come out with thunder and anger and what have you, we can always bring out the sunshine. I would like to say that Rumi's work is a treasure trove which is becoming more and more accessible. It would be lovely to shake him by the hand or embrace him and say thank you. Alternatively, you can open up a window from your heart to his. A big thank you to Essine Celebi Beirut, Farios Kukil, Murat Peksanos et Cross, Dr.Mansour Malik. If I can help you in any way, you're interested in this interview, finding out more, you can contact me at chris@chriscooper.co.uk. I hope you found the business of Rumi a helpful and thought-provoking listen that has the potential maybe to bring some of Rumi's ideas into your life and to help you become more and more successful, fulfilled and happy as a human being. Thank you.
We thank you for listening to the Chris Cooper Business Elevation Show. Please join your host, Chris Cooper, again next Friday at 8 a.m. US Pacific Time on the Voice America Business Channel. Be more. Achieve more.